We're looking at the visible satellite imagery. You can see our system diving down out of the northwest towards the Pacific Northwest. Quite a bit of moisture associated with this. And we still have a reasonably cooled air mass in place. And there's also a dry air mass in place. As a matter of fact, if we were to look at the air mass, we can, and the dew points in place, we could see that we have really dry dew points. So yeah, check that out. For a good chunk of the region up there in Whatcom County, the dew points are down into the teens. Here across Skagit County in the mid-20s. Here across Snohomish County, we have dew points in the low 20s to the upper teens. Same with down in King County and whatnot. So we have a really dry air mass. And if we look over at satellite imagery, we can see on the Canadian radar that there is some precipitation and snow moving over aloft. But if we look at our radar here in Camino Island, we can see that that is not getting towards the surface. And the reason for that is because if we look at the Canadian radar and we use this measuring tool here, we stretch it out to where this is falling, that's at about 5,000 feet above the surface. So the radar is hitting some precipitation up there at about 5,000 feet above the surface, but that's not reaching the surface because as that snow is falling, it is evaporating. And when it evaporates, that's evaporative cooling, and evaporative cooling causes the atmosphere to cool off even more. And so that's part of what's going to help our atmosphere cool off even more is the process of evaporative cooling. But the snow is beginning to fall in the northwest Washington coast, and it is beginning to fall up there by Vancouver, BC, and it's only going to increase as we get further into the day. Looking at the European model here, we can see here that by about 10 p.m. that there's going to be snow entrenched over a good chunk of the region, and then it's going to be wrapped up by tomorrow morning by about 7 a.m. Looking at snow totals here by tomorrow at 10 a.m., we can see that in places like West Snohomish County, that there could be anywhere from 0 inches of snow to 3 inches of snow, depending on where you are. Far west Snohomish County is probably going to get less than areas like Arlington and Lake Stevens and Monroe and Snohomish. And then the further east you go, the higher the amounts get. So places like Skykomish and Index, I think you guys have a good chance of getting some pretty good snow. Sultan, probably 2 to 3 inches of snow. And that's kind of the case from Skagit County down through even King County. Down here by Tacoma and Enumclaw and things like this, less down here in this pocket. And then from about Olympia down through Chehalis and Longview, going to get anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of snow. Out here on the coast, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of snow. Forks could get up to 4 inches of snow. Over here by maybe Nia Bay could get the same. Spokane could get 1 to 2 inches of snow possibly. Looking at the National Weather Service, we can see that they have issued a myriad of winter weather advisories for the region and some winter storm warnings for the mountains. There was some weird terminology in some of their winter weather advisories that they issued earlier this morning. Like they were saying that the East Puget Sound lowlands, which included places like Lake Stevens and Snohomish and Arlington, were going to get up towards 10 inches of snow, which in reality, I think what they meant was that the areas that were highest up in elevation in the foothills within that advisory area was going to get up towards 10 inches of snow, but it was just really, really confusing for the general public language. So I'm glad they changed their winter weather advisories to reflect more of a reality of what's going to happen in the majority of the lowlands. So looking over at the winter weather advisories here, we're going to take a quick look at these. So this is for the Central Coast, Aberdeen, Hoquiam, Westport, Ocean Shores. They have a winter weather advisory in effect from 4 p.m. this afternoon until 10 a.m. tomorrow for up to 2 inches of snow. And then for the East Strait of Juan de Fuca lowlands, including Port Angeles, Sequim, Blinn, they are calling for up to 4 inches of wet snow. And then for areas out there by the Hood Canal, Bremerton vicinity, Shelton, Seebeck, Belfair, Brennan, Bremerton, up to 4 inches of snow. Places in western Whatcom County, western Skagit County, up to 4 inches of snow. Places around Tacoma area, Admiralty Inlet, up to 2 inches of snow. That also includes Bellevue and Seattle and vicinity. Areas around the southwest interior, lower Chehalis Valley, including Lacey, Olympia, Tumwater, Yelm, Grand Mound, etc., up to 3 inches of snow. Not going to look at the Cascade Mountains. The Cascade Mountains are going to get quite a bit of snow out of this, though. And then San Juan County, including Stewart Island, Waldron, Orcas, they're saying up to 3 inches of snow is possible, but it's going to be higher amounts on the northern islands, lesser on the southern. East Puget Sound lowlands, they're calling for up to 3 inches of snow now, which I think is a good reflection of what's going to happen in the majority of the area. T-Bird over on YouTube, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Feel free to comment if there's any question you would like me to answer for you, but really appreciate that. That's going to go straight into the gas tank for chasing and stuff like that. Everett and vicinity, including Everett, Linwood, Marysville, they are calling for up to 2 inches of snow. Winter weather advisory for the east slope of the Washington Cascades. So Cle Elum area and whatnot, 6 to 12, not bad. And then the lower Columbia, greater Portland metro area, which includes Vancouver, Washington, could get around 1 to 2 inches, locally higher amounts of 4 inches. So yeah, more snow on the way. Looking at the new American model here, we can kind of see how this behaves on the simulated radar here. Put the loop of this on. So we see that up in Whatcom County, it could start to snow as early as 6 p.m., 5 to 6 p.m. By 8 p.m., it's pretty well solidly snow up there in Whatcom County. It has it starting off as rain from about Arlington south through Seattle and Tacoma, but there's a chance that it won't start off as rain and it will all start off as snow. By the way, if you're watching here on YouTube, I do have Super Chat enabled, which is awesome, and if you do want to support what we have going on here, you can post one of those, and it kind of helps your questions get up towards the top. But anyways, it has it switching all over to snow at least by midnight, and then it snows through about 5, 6 a.m., and then you can see that band of snow sweeping across the rest of eastern Washington. And then there are some showers around that could bring snow down towards the surface as well. And then we have a bit of a surface low that makes its way towards us on Monday morning, which could bring more snow to the region Monday morning into Monday night and possibly Tuesday morning. So looking at the snow totals for the NAM 3KM through about 10 a.m. tomorrow, you can see that the NAM 3KM is actually calling for about 2 to 3 inches of snow for the Seattle area, which is more than what the European model shows. Out there in the Kitsap Peninsula, 2 to 4 inches of snow. The west Snohomish County is calling for anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of snow, the further east you go. Places like Stanwood and Camano Island might miss out on this round, including Whidbey Island. And this model actually doesn't have very much at all for places like Sequim and Port Angeles, or the southern San Juan Islands, but it actually does have a little spot of 4 inches of snow there on Orcas Island, probably there on the Orcas Mountain, which is pretty cool. So yeah, and then as we go through the day, you can see there's additional snow that falls on Monday morning through the day. So I hope that is helpful to you guys. Thanks for hopping on. I see I'm looking at your comments now. Just watched on YouTube, just watched on Facebook. Good to see this stuff twice. Ickham says Dew Point in Olympia was 12 last night. Yep. Monica Star, when would it hit Linwood? Later tonight, probably, I would guess 8, 9, 10 p.m. or so, and continue through the night. Storm Tracking says, I can't wait for more snow. You know, me neither. And, all right, folks. Well, thanks for hopping on. Just wanted to do a quick update for you guys, and I will go ahead and talk to you guys later.